Yo, yo, yo. Happy Friday. I made 5 bandos shorting NQ today. So that's good. And we're going to talk about how I did that. I have a very unhealthy amount of caffeine running through my bloodstream right now. So this should be good. It's Friday. I don't want to waste your guys' time. Let's jump straight into it. On the 1 hour time frame, my bias going into the day, I had a loose bullish bias because here's the thing. Lately, higher time frame, I mean, it's been pretty tricky to read. We have just been disrespecting all of these high time frame gaps. We've been ping-ponging back and forth. It's been kind of a shit show. So my bias has been more loose lately, but the reason why I was loosely bullish and why it kind of had to be bullish is because overnight we just ripped through this 1 hour bearish gap. We closed through it and validated it, and the draws above were just a lot better in my opinion. Like these highs stood out, and this low, this was the only bearish draw I really had, other than this is a 4 hour untapped gap. This low was put in yesterday when market was about to close. Not the strongest draw, but it was the only draw I had bearish. And with how we've been lately, I was open to either direction. I just had to let price tell me where the fuck we wanted to go. So market opens up, and the first thing we do, I notice, we take out this high on NQ, and on ES, why is that all fucked up? So we take out this high on NQ, we don't take it out on ES, so we have a bearish SMT here, but we also have a bullish SMT at these lows. You can see ES took out this low, NQ did not. So now we have two SMTs in opposing directions. So I need to see a lot of displacement to confirm which direction we want to go. I did notice ES has not yet closed through this 15-minute bearish gap. So that was playing into my bias as well. And I was honestly, when we put in this SMT and I saw we were respecting this 15-minute gap, I was pretty sort of already flipping my bias bearish. Now, what I needed to see to really confirm a bearish bias, I needed to see this SMT get broken through, and sure enough, NQ ripped through it. The first little bit of market open, it was slow, we were kind of chopping, and then we just immediately ripped through the SMT. So now I completely flipped my bias from bullish to bearish. Now, at this time though, when we had this displacement, the 15-minute closed out of the ES 15-minute gap, when we had this displacement, we were still 100 points away from the draw when we started displacing. So I wanted to see, okay, do we really have the volume and strength to go down and take out this draw? And can I get a safe entry? Because I'm not just going to enter some bullshit of hopes and dreams and hope that it goes down and takes out the draw. So what do I see? I see we have a 5-minute gap here. And this is important. I'm not using this 5-minute gap. I'm using this 5-minute gap. If you're looking for a retrace to a 5 or a 15-minute gap, you look for the first one. If we invalidated this 5-minute gap, came up, tapped this one, and started displacing lower, I would not have taken the trade because this is my condition. The first gap, always. We can blow through some 1 minutes to tap a 5, but we can't blow through a 5 to tap a 5 or a 15, okay? Rule of thumb right there. We come into this gap, price starts displacing out of it. I take my entry on this candle close right here and pretty much immediately flush to my take profit. I held a little bit past this first draw. I held to this untapped 4 hour just because if we're going to take this, we're going to tap the untapped 4 hour. So I squeezed out a little bit of extra RR there, and I made $1,000 per account across 5 accounts. That's 5 bands to the dome. So that was great. But I want to talk about, I don't think this trade was A+. I don't. I'm going to say it. A lot of motherfuckers in my Discord took it. A lot of other people took it too. So I'm very happy. I took it. I mean, I thought it was good enough to put risk on. But if you didn't take this trade, don't get FOMO because I don't think it was an A+ setup, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, ES, before we had that retracement into the 5-minute, we completely edged that same draw that we're targeting on NQ. So let me put the 1 hours side by side here. It was the exact same draw. Okay, and assets were correlated, so that's good. But before we had that retracement, we edged the shit out of it. Okay, by half a point on ES. That is not good. I do not like targeting draws that get edged like that. Now, the other thing I didn't like about this is that when we retraced into this 5 minute, the retrace was, it was strong, weak, it was kind of in the middle, but the displacement out of it was not that strong. I would say the retracement even might have been a bit stronger than the displacement out of it, which I didn't like. But that is why I was going to take this based off the 5 minute, but then we started rejecting out of it. And if I would have waited for the close, RR just wouldn't have been there. So I zoomed into the 1 minute to see if I could get any valid entry. And really what I wanted to see is this candle right here. When we formed this candle and wicked up, that was kind of like my condition candle. I was like, okay, if we want to rip through this 5 minute gap and keep going up and do the bullshit the market's been doing lately, then this candle is going to be the start of it, and we're just going to go up. I wanted to see a candle close below this candle for an entry. As soon as I got that, I was very confident that we were probably going to just keep dumping. So this trade was really just based off of the volume and how aggressively we were dumping towards these lows. And when I saw that we went to the only potential spot we could retrace to, we obviously respected it, had movement lower. I was definitely willing to put risk on this trade. Now, I have a buffer in my accounts. I was only risking like $5.50 per account with this. This is 1 to 1.8. So I really didn't put on very heavy risk at all. But this trade to me, because of the displacement, it was worth a shot. So if you didn't take the trade, based on the reasons I just talked about, do not feel FOMO. It was probably a better decision to stay out, to be honest, especially if you don't have that buffer built. Then I completely respect the decision to stay out of the trade. If you did take it, congratulations. You're having a great Friday, so that's awesome. I pretty much covered everything, I believe. As always, I have the link to join my Discord. That's going to be in the description of this video. Everyone fucking banked today on this trade, so that's awesome. I post my bias every single morning. I review your guys' trades, and it's free. It's literally free. So you might as well join. Lots of free sauce. But that is all I have for today. Enjoy your 3-day weekends, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.